Hi folks, back to the big brush watercolour. Using an old hake. Still works. Well, this is the cheaper studio paper. It's good stuff. It does lift out with a bit of scraping, so I'm into the woody ones at the moment. Done enough of the mountainy ones and the lakey ones, so we'll do some more of these. A bit too much water on that, so I just squeeze out the excess on the brush, from the brush. Okay. When you're doing this, well, I said what I do. I've got a load of toweling, which I put on the side, and I can take the excess out of my brush. Excess water, that is. Okay, a bit of a sienna, just a general warm. I'll do a similar one to the trailer that I just put on YouTube. I've done one of these for Patreon this morning. Very inexpensive. I'm about the cheapest one on Patreon, I think. I'll put the prices up if I knew how. I can't seem to fathom that out. Oops, sorry. But it's easy to go on Patreon, and it's very easy to come off as well. You just decline. If you want, every month you'll get a, would you want to continue? And if you don't, you just decline, and that's it. But it's a nice way of making a contribution to the cost of the channel, or the materials anyway. Right, let's put in some. I like, at the moment I'm enjoying putting a bit of red in the background. Give some sort of early evening or whatever. It's a beautiful day in London today. It's cooled off a bit. We've had a lovely week. The temperature's around about 60, I suppose, which for this time of the year in the UK is pretty good. And it's going to cool off a bit by the weekend, and we'll get some cloud. But we've had 5 lovely days, and 5 lovely days of me being out in my garden, cooking on my gas barbecue chicken, roast chicken with the lid down. Somebody gave me the barbecue. I would have bought one, but because the charcoal, I have to be careful using that now because it affects my chest. But I love doing it. The chicken is coming out, catching right. It's just gorgeous. Right, let's have a bit of blue in there. Just a little bit. A little bit of cloud. Okay, that'll do. Now while that's wet, we'll put in a bit of background. While the paper's wet, you can do anything you like with it, more or less, within reason. Don't overwork it, but this one, the water tends to stay on the surface for longer than the other papers, and it makes it easy to scrape out, which is what we're trying to do. Now, I want to get some bluish background, so a bit of alizarin. Don't use a lot of alizarin. I've got my basic palette of cadmium yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, and burnt sienna. I don't use much viridian, and I don't use much, not viridian, alizarin, and I don't use much burnt umber. But the other colours, not so much with the red because it's very, it's very saturated, although it does dry out much lighter when you put it on. So let's just put in some background, and then get a bit of warm greens, well, not warm green, it's blue green. Just add some colours in here as we go along. All very quick because the paint's wet and I want to keep it that way for a moment. I'm going to put some rocks and stuff in. Now keep the paints clean, so cad yellow, bit of that blue, and then we'll put in a bit of rocky stuff. Now when you're lifting out, you want to get some darks in there because you need a strong contrast between the white of the paper and the deep colour that you're making the rocks out of. And get the same the other side. Bit of blue, a bit of panes. A bit of blue, just to give a bit of distance. Right, now the lifting out begins. Stretch. Oh, let's just get a bit of that bottom there. Just fill that in. Right, get the card first. Right, card. Oops. Okay, overdone, but just for the sake of demonstration, I can do what I like. But be bold, but you have to be quick. Right, now I'm going to put in some depth in here. A bit slightly autumny, let's say. Autumny, so a bit of sienna. Right, I'll get some depth in there now, some dark green. More green, more yellow. Getting this dark in here, in the like the depth of the wood. Okay, I'll give that a dry now. Clean the brush. Dry. Fast forward. Go. Right, okay. Going to do a bit of dry brush across the stream now, using the red and a bit of that blue. Okay, now we'll go into the bit of detail now, or the illusion of. Bit of pains, bit of sienna, or you can use a bit of green. Try and take a bit of care when you do this. This haker's got a nice sharp edge. Okay, some here. Alright, let's do some blue ones. Just a few in here. Pull the hairs out, the loose hairs. Right, give that a bit of a dry. And then I'll go over just a few rogue leaves. fine. That's a lot of hit and miss there. See how much lighter it dries? I'm going to use Frank Clark's. I don't use it for myself, so just give it a nice wet, and then or damp, and then get the old see if I can just break it up a bit more. I'm going to put some greens on this, I think, because mostly the leaves go brown on the floor. You look, well, not always, but there's still a lot of green when these are going nice and that's where they go green. I mean yellowy brown. So let's have a bit of pains, bit of green now. Okay, maybe I won't do any rigger work on that. I don't think it needs it. That's the focal point there, not down here. I'll sign it. That's all I'm going to do. So that's two I've done today. One for you and one for Patreon. Right, okay. Mount. There we are. That water is more realistic than when I try to give it a bit of flow coming down, but going across it's there, it's water, and that's the main thing. Well, I hope you like that one, folks. Stay safe, but I'm going to go on a short bike ride in a minute because we're allowed to have exercise once a day as long as we don't come in contact with anybody. I'll just go around the block, do a couple of miles and just keep the old legs going. Wish you all the best. Bye bye.